Meanwhile, it's Friday, so let's talk about the big Bollywood release this weekend, and that's Akshay Kumar's star, Samrat Prithviraj. Akshay Kumar is returning to the big screen. This is the first time he returns after Sooryavanshi, and of course also has Manushi Chhillar as his co-star in this periodic drama. What's better, states like Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, they've decided to make this movie tax-free. Let's find out what's in store for this film, and of course, when you look at the larger context of period films, how have we historically done? For that, leading film trade analyst, someone who loves films, enjoys films and talks films all the time, is Komal Nahta. He's joining us for an assessment of this latest one to hit the box office. Great to have you with us. A very good evening. What's your reading? I'm sure you've watched the film. In terms of the many period dramas that you've watched in the past, how true does it stay to the historical context that it really tries to capture? What's your largest takeaway from the film?
I thought the film wasn't very good, except it exploits the Hindutva feelings currently in vogue, in fashion, in India. That's all that I took away from the film. Otherwise, it didn't really move you emotionally. Even patriotism, that feeling of patriotism really didn't come through. It is more of Hindu philosophy and Hindu principles that stayed with the audience rather than a feeling of being proud to be an Indian. It was more being proud to be a Hindu.
We've seen so many period dramas in the past, and some of them have been remarkable successes too. So like Jodha Akbar, Bajirao Mastani, Padmavat, all of these put together, how do you think the latest offering stacks up?
No, it doesn't stand up to them. It doesn't match up to them. Padmavat, Bajirao Mastani, they were fabulously made films, and they had an emotion that connected with the audience. Similarly, Jodha Akbar was visually beautiful. This film is visually beautiful, but oftentimes you feel that director Chandraprakash Dwivedi has sacrificed content or ignored content to an extent just because he seems to have been enamored of the visual appeal of the film. You know, the whole set looked so beautiful that somewhere content or the emotional thread was given a go-by. And that doesn't work. For a film to run, the look, the visual appeal, these are only add-ons. Finally, it has to touch the heart. It has to appeal to the heart. And it has to make a place. The story has to make a place for itself in people's hearts. Otherwise, it cannot be a long-running film. And this seems to be that kind of a film. It doesn't really stay with you for too long.
Clearly, I mean, any period drama that you watch, whether it does a good job of it or doesn't, the economics of it are huge because at stake are the recreation of an entire period that we are talking about, and that takes a lot of money. When you look at the economics of period dramas and what they pull in at the box office, Komal, how have we done so far in the recent context, and especially when it comes to post-pandemic, when budgets have been that much more restrained? We didn't know whether audiences were going to come back in a big way or not. So in that respect, to put out a period drama, is it going to be too much of, a gamble?
See, as far as the audience returning to the cinemas is concerned, they have returned, and they have returned with a vengeance. KGF Chapter 2, RRR, Spider-Man, Pushpa, all these films have proven. Sooryavanshi, which was the first release after the lockdown, all these films have proven, conclusively proven, that the audience is willing to come to the cinemas, but the content has to be really good. And this film, it was made before the lockdown. It had started production before the lockdown. So there is no way they could not have completed it. And to hold back such a big film with such a huge budget and wait for great times to return. Frankly, I feel the greatest times have returned because we are seeing business of the kind never seen before. So even if the producers thought that let's wait for 6 months, it wouldn't be the ideal thing to do because the interest factor was mounting. And with a budget of more than 200 crore rupees, of course, historicals are always very costly to make because you have to recreate an entire era. There are costumes, there are sets, and since it's an action film, action is always more expensive. So with a budget of 200 crore plus, I think it doesn't, the box office or the opening days collections don't really match up to the canvas, to the budget, to the star cast.
About star power, we've seen what Jodha Akbar and Hrithik Roshan brought to the table. We've seen Bajirao Mastani and what Ranveer Singh could do for the film. In that context, how has Akshay Kumar fared and what does this do to his career?
Unfortunately, Akshay Kumar has not been really going through a very good patch. His Lakshmi, which was released on premiered on OTT, did not do well. Bachchan Pandey bombed, Bell Bottom was a bomb. So he has not been going through a very good phase of his career. This film, I think the opening days collections will be in the region of 10 to 12 crore, which is not very good. Considering that it is an Akshay Kumar starrer, it should have taken an opening of at least 16 to 18 crore. Secondly, it's a 200 crore film. So definitely anything short of 20 crore opening is alarming. And if the opening is going to be 10 or 12 crore, it's definitely cause for alarm. But the silver lining is that although the opening shows, the morning shows were not too good, the afternoon or let's put it the evening and night shows are definitely picking up, obviously because of Akshay Kumar's star power. So it's not great news for Akshay Kumar, definitely, because if it had taken a flying start, probably we could have said that after a bad patch, and after 3 flops, at least he's delivering a hit. But it doesn't seem that this film is going to really click in a big way. At best, it might break even. That also I'm saying at best. Either it will break even or it will make a loss of a few crore of rupees, because the producers have recovered hugely from satellite and digital sales.
This is where it's at, where a large chunk of money is made for the producers. We'll see whether that's the case for Prithviraj. But for the moment, Komal is not very impressed with the film. We'll keep tracking what it pulls in at the box office. But that's about all we could pack into this edition of India Tonight. Thanks so much, Komal, for joining us. And of course, we hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead. Whether or not you're going to watch this film or indulge in other activities, it's still the middle of the summer.